It didn't begin with chaos, it began with silence. Welcome to GORACT HOPT. Every move feels deliberate, every step carefully placed. But somewhere along the way, someone has already started to lose control. Stay with the story, because the real danger hasn't revealed itself yet. The story begins on a boat drifting in the Caribbean Sea. All around it, the ocean looks calm and still, but deep down, something unknown is waiting to happen. A family is enjoying their vacation. On the boat are Tom and his wife Julia, along with their two children, Cassie and Ben. Cassie has her headphones on, lost in her music, while Tom is teaching his son Ben how to fish. No one has any idea that this peaceful moment is about to end. Suddenly, Julia jumps into the water to go swimming. As she swims, she moves farther and farther away from the boat. That's when she feels it, as if something is pulling her from beneath. She calls out to Tom for help, but her voice doesn't reach him. Julia begins to sink. At the same time, Tom notices that the device on the boat has stopped working. Then he looks toward the water and sees his wife drowning. He rushes the boat closer, jumps in, and pulls her back. When he brings Julia onto the boat, everyone is shaken. Tom says, "I told you not to go too far from the boat." That one moment makes it clear. This trip is no longer going to be normal. As evening falls, everyone comes together to celebrate Ben's birthday. Today, he turns 13. No matter how things are, the family tries to keep the mood light. There are gifts, smiles, and they take a family photo together. Just then, Cassie gets a call from her boyfriend, Adam. He asks how the family trip is going. Cassie says she feels bored here. Adam tells her that the weather has suddenly turned bad where he is. Lightning is flashing across the sky. Hearing this, a strange fear settles inside Cassie. Suddenly, the network drops and the call disconnects. Cassie tells her dad about it. At that exact moment, there's movement in the water. They look around and see dozens of whales surrounding the boat. Tom says this usually happens before a storm because whales and sharks sense the waves before anyone else. Then, a massive whale slams into the lower part of the boat. The mood shifts completely. The danger is now obvious. Tom gets into the water to check for damage underneath the boat. When he comes back up, his shoulder is injured. Julia asks what happened down there. Tom says he doesn't know. He just turned around, and suddenly, the injury was there. But that wound is not the worst part. Tom says the yacht is badly damaged, and there's no way to fix it. They need help. Julia stitches his wound. She's a doctor, after all. Cassie tries to call for help on her phone, but there's no signal. With every passing minute, their hope fades. Julia tries again and again to make contact through the radio, but every attempt fails. Tom grows more and more desperate. He doesn't know how he's going to get his family home. Then suddenly, they detect a signal. They step outside and see something falling from the sky. At first, it looks like a meteor. Tom tries to move the boat, but another object crashes dangerously close to them. They barely escape. Now it's clear this isn't just a natural disaster, because what's falling from the sky aren't meteors at all. They're satellites. They're satellites falling from the sky for some unknown reason. Before anyone can fully understand what's happening, the color of the sky shifts and the direction of the wind starts to feel wrong. Strong winds begin to howl. The ocean rises with violent waves. They rush inside and start securing everything. Tom hands out life jackets to everyone, but their heads begin to spin. Julia's nose starts bleeding. This isn't just a storm. It's the beginning of something much bigger. The storm grows so violent that one by one, they all lose consciousness. When morning comes and they wake up, Julia sees that her entire family is alive, but the boat is completely destroyed. Fish and thick mud have filled the inside. Tom can't make sense of it. When they climb up and look around, the entire world looks different. The ocean is gone. All the water has vanished. And now they're standing in the middle of a massive desert. Where there was once water, there's only death-like silence. Tom tries to understand what happened using the map and compass. That's when he realizes something terrifying. The Earth's poles have shifted. The North Pole has become south, and the south has become north. Because of that shift, the ocean has moved to the other side of the planet. And this change must have caused destruction across the world. Everyone goes silent. Countless people must be dead. Cassie breaks down crying, worried about Adam. Now they're trapped in this desert too. Julia starts gathering all the remaining food. Tom keeps trying to contact someone on the radio. Everyone is fighting the situation in their own way. Ben climbs up a high hill and releases balloons into the air, hoping someone nearby might see them. After some time, a voice comes through on the radio. The man says, "My name is Nob. I'm the captain of a small submarine." Tom says, "We need your help." Nob replies, "I can't help. I'm stuck here too, just like you." That unknown voice brings hope and fear at the same time. Tom asks, "What do you think happened?" The captain says it was caused by the pole shift. According to his calculations, the poles will return to their original position in a week, but when they do, the waves that follow will be extremely dangerous. Hearing this, Julia tells both her children to start packing. Tom asks, "How many people can your submarine hold?" As he asks this, his greatest fear stays hidden inside him. Nob says, "My partner is dead, so there's space for 3 people now." Tom says, "Alright, then tell me your location so I can bring my 2 kids to the submarine." Julia also begs the captain to save her children. After a moment, the captain agrees and shares his coordinates. That decision decision could change all of their lives. Tom checks the coordinates and says, "Eat. We'll reach you in about 3 days." He tells his wife, "We'll leave tomorrow morning. Saving our children is our first priority." So they don't tell the kids that the submarine only has space for 2 people. Hiding that truth becomes the heaviest decision of their lives. They spend the night on the boat. As morning comes, Julia starts collecting all the essential supplies. That's when Tom notices a man approaching the boat. He looks very strange, and there's a dog with him. Then Tom climbs down from the bow and carries water. Tom walks toward the man, trying to help. When he offers him water, there's something in the man's eyes, something that makes Tom uneasy. In a single gulp, the man drinks all the water. Tom tries to talk to him, but the language makes no sense to him. Then suddenly, the man attacks. Before anyone can react, he stabs Tom and kills him. Julia stands there, screaming, crying, but she can't save her husband. Everything happens too fast. No one gets a chance to stop it. The man turns toward Julia next. She runs back to the boat, hides both her children before he can reach them, hands Cassie a flare gun, and whispers to use it if needed. Then Julia hides herself. When the man enters the boat, he sees the stored food and attacks it like an animal. Fear and hunger have stripped away his humanity. Julia jumps down from the boat with a knife. The man's dog attacks her. She kills the dog. She climbs back inside from the other side, and the man lunges at her. She fights hard to survive, but the situation leaves no room for mistakes. She can't stop him. That's when Cassie fires a flare gun at him. The boat catches fire. Still, the 3 of them manage to escape with the essential supplies. Ben breaks down, crying, seeing his father dead. That pain forces the children to grow up too soon. Julia notices the man is still alive and coming after them again. She grabs her children and runs. Behind them, the boat explodes with a loud blast. They stop at a safe distance to rest for a while. Ben blames himself for his father's death. He believes the man came because of the balloons. Julia comforts him, telling him to stop blaming himself. Now, survival is their only goal. When they see the man getting closer again, they start running. They manage to get far away, but then Julia realizes something else. Ben is suffering from dehydration, and their water is gone. That's when they see it, a plane. It feels like their last ray of hope. The plane seems to have crashed during the storm. They run toward it and find no one around. Evening is approaching. Julia hides inside the plane with her children. She gives them food and thinks about her husband. Every silent moment pulls Tom's memory deeper into her heart. They fall asleep inside the plane for the night. Cassie wakes up and steps outside to use the restroom. That's when the man appears again, moving toward her to attack. But before he can reach her, Julia stabs him with a knife, again and again, until he dies right there. After avenging her husband's death, Julia feels a strange sense of relief. It isn't revenge anymore, it's survival. The next morning, when they step out of the plane, they see deep wounds all over the man's body, as if he had been attacked by a wild animal. They begin moving toward the submarine's direction, but Ben is extremely thirsty. He bends down and drinks the water collected inside a pit. Julia stops him. She knows that water will make him sick. The sun, the thirst, the exhaustion, everything is breaking them down. To shield themselves from the strong winds, they use scattered garbage as cover. Julia injects Ben with medicine. They build a small shelter and hide inside it. Both children fall asleep. Then Julia hears a sound. She steps outside and sees something moving fast toward them. Danger stands in front of her again. Without warning, she grabs her children and runs. They sprint until they reach a ship where some people are pulling food supplies out of containers. The moment those people see Julia and the kids running toward them, they hide inside the containers and lock themselves in, because dozens of crabs are chasing them. To escape, the 3 of them climb on top of the containers, but Julia gets injured. Inside the containers, the crabs attack everyone hiding there and kill them. It becomes clear this world has no rules left. By the next morning, a violent sandstorm fills the air. Julia notices weapons scattered around. To survive now, they have to become stronger. They take the weapons. Ben starts reloading a gun. Julia pours gunpowder onto her wound and burns it to stop the infection. They find drinking water and other essential supplies. Julia also finds a walkie-talkie. She contacts the submarine captain. He asks, "Where are you?" Julia says, "We're lost somewhere in this desert. Our map is gone. It's hard to figure out the direction." Every word carries her exhaustion and fear. The captain says those same creatures attacked him too, and his condition is critical. He tells them to hurry because the ocean is coming back. Then he fires a flare into the sky. Ben sees it. Now they know the submarine's location. They start moving in that direction. That hope becomes their last lifeline. After walking some distance, they finally see the submarine, but to reach it, they must cross deep trenches. They move forward. With every step, danger comes closer. Suddenly, rocks start falling from above. Julia pushes her children to the other side to save them and gets trapped on his side of the trench herself. She says, "Take your brother and go to the submarine. I'll try to get out from here." The children don't want to leave her behind, but after Julia insists again and again, Cassie takes her brother and moves forward. A mother's greatest fear and her greatest strength are both visible here. When the kids reach the submarine, they find Nom badly injured. He says, "I think my time is over. There's space for 3 people now." Hearing this, Cassie runs back to the trench where Julia is fighting off the creatures. She reaches out her hand and pulls her mother out. Now they all stand together near the submarine. This moment becomes the most emotional turn of their entire journey. Before the creatures can attack again, they seal themselves inside the submarine. That's when they see it, a massive wave rushing toward them. Nature is taking everything back. The ocean has returned to its place. They strap themselves in tightly. As the waves crash into the submarine, they lose consciousness. When Julia wakes up, everything is quiet. The submarine has reached the shore. This silence after the storm feels terrifying. When they step outside, they see a city turned into ruins, completely destroyed by the disaster. But somehow, they survive. After countless sacrifices, this life itself is their greatest victory. And with that, the movie ends. In the end, this was never just about action. It was about the moment everything slid out of control. If you enjoy slow burn, suspense-driven stories like this, subscribe to GORACT HOPT. Some choices feel right until you see their consequences. What would you have done differently? Let me know in the comments.